Ever had the delightful experience of a colleague stabbing you in the back with a bogus allegation at work? Well, if you're a guy, there's a good chance the culprit was a female coworker. It's like a twisted game of office roulette we men get to play throughout our careers. You never know when the next accusation will come flying your way. Just another thrilling episode in the ongoing saga of workplace drama whenever women are involved.
I have a team of people. Everybody who works for me right now are men. I've noticed if I hire someone and they're female, I have to be careful about how I talk to them, even giving criticism. And maybe it's me, but I feel like I have to be a little bit nicer, a little bit more gentler. Whereas with a dude, I can be like, can you just not do this again? And they're like, yeah, no problem, won't do it again. But if it's female, I'm like, okay, you did like this a little bit wrong. Here's how to do it a little bit better. Overall, you're doing a great job. Everything's fine. Please don't be upset.
With women, it's like navigating a minefield of hurt feelings and drama. Point out something they did wrong, and suddenly, you're the bad guy, tiptoeing around their fragile emotions. But with men, it's refreshingly straightforward. You tell them what they did wrong, they acknowledge it, and you move on. No theatrics, no emotional roller coaster, just a simple exchange of feedback. Funny how that works.
Could we talk for a moment about Me Too? You've rejected the idea that we should always believe the victim in a rape
Well, that's
accusation.
obvious. That's
Yes.
what happened in the lynch cases in the 1950s in the United States. The victim was always believed.
Yes, and I was going to say that's fair enough. But why not accept the situation as being the victim deserves to be treated as if she's telling the truth in our attempts to get at the truth, and in doing that, we do our best not to re-victimize her.
Because that isn't how the adversarial system works, and I don't think
But
that we
why
have
not advocate for that?
Because
rather
the
than
adversarial system is a very effective judicial system, and it's certainly the case that among crimes that are falsely reported, rape crimes are at the top of the list. So there is no believing the victim. There's no reason for people to assume that when they enter the criminal justice system that they're going to be treated with kid gloves or treated easily. That isn't how it works.
Did you know 60% of male managers say they are uncomfortable working alone with a woman out of fear of complaints of sexual harassment? Women in the workplace. Men, do not avoid working with women because you're afraid of sexual harassment complaints. That is gender discrimination. To avoid sexual harassment complaints, do not sexually harass people. Period.
This is funny because men are afraid not because they want to sexually harass women in peace, but because even a normal interaction can turn into an accusation. There's the delightful issue of men worrying that simply talking to a woman might earn them the prestigious label of creepy, and heaven forbid they persist in trying to secure a date, risking the even more prestigious title of harasser. The line between being a potential dreamboat or a nightmare hinges solely on a woman's ever-so-subjective level of attraction. Since every woman has her own unique checklist, men trying to approach them are left in a delightful state of uncertainty about how their advances will be received. There's a constant fear that what might be seen as innocent flirting could be twisted into something sinister, leading to the delightful possibility of being reported to the authorities, HR, or worse, social media. Some women might even express discomfort when approached in certain settings, and men have the impossible task of trying to figure out if they're in that exclusive category. So, naturally, it's just simpler for men to steer clear of all this and choose avoidance over the risk of facing social backlash. False accusations have become a chilling reality that makes many men wary of interactions with women. The fear of being unjustly accused of misconduct or harassment looms large, casting a shadow over professional and personal interactions. Men find themselves second-guessing their every move, afraid that a simple misunderstanding could spiral into a career-ending accusation. This climate of fear and mistrust has led some men to choose to avoid interactions with women altogether, opting for self-preservation over potential accusations. It's a sad state of affairs when genuine connections and collaboration are hindered by the fear of false allegations.
If I was a man, and I'm not a man, but if I was a man, I wouldn't hire a woman. I wouldn't do it. And I say it all the time, and I say that, and that is something that women need to consider when they're talking about this stuff. When you are saying that a man complimenting you and saying, I really like your outfit today, is a form of sexism. if you're a man, why hire a woman, right? So you fought all this time to be able to get into the workforce, only to say these are going to be the rules. You know, if you say anything, even if you compliment me, if you look at me, anything, I'm going to have a reason to fight you. And by the way, you're going to want to settle and pay me, because even just the stain of an accusation is enough to ruin men. So if you're a guy, right, in this society, in this Me Too environment, in this litigation-rich environment of misogyny and sexism and all of these claims, what is the value add? What's the risk? You know, the benefit and the risk. I can't do the analysis and say, I'd just be like, no, I'm just not hiring anyone. Give me all the men.
And as mentioned earlier, when it comes to interacting with women, the drama can reach legendary proportions. Criticize a woman, even constructively, and you're suddenly embroiled in a whirlwind of hurt feelings and exaggerated reactions. It's like walking on eggshells, trying not to trigger a meltdown. But when it comes to men, it's a whole different ballgame. You point out their mistake, they nod, maybe even appreciate the feedback, and that's the end of it. No emotional theatrics, no lingering resentment, just a straightforward exchange. And let's be real here. I find it hard to believe when men claim they have no choice but to engage with women. There's always a choice. Whether it's in the workplace, social settings, or even personal relationships, men can choose how much or how little they want to interact with women. It's not some unavoidable fate. It's a choice they make. So let's drop the excuses and own up to our decisions. And when you've got women like this around, why on earth would anyone in the right state of mind want to approach them?
Stop approaching women when they're alone.
No, men are weird. Stop talking to women you don't know.
Do not approach a woman who did not inspire that. No.
I hate when men approach women.
So should a guy ever approach a girl in public?
I don't think so, no.
Is it too direct for like a stranger to come off the street or in a restaurant to say, oh, I think you're really interesting, and get your number there? Is that?
Of course, because I had this type of situations. It's weird.
Having a meeting with a group of guys several years ago about never being alone with another woman, and this one guy said, hey bro, in my job, and I know a lot of you guys are thinking the same thing, hey bro, in my job I have to be alone with women. I'm like, no bro, you don't. This guy 6 months later confessed to having an affair with this woman the entire time he was telling us he had no choice.
In the workplace, men need to understand that they need to get it together and get a grip by keeping their distance from potential drama. They should understand that false accusations are like landmines, ready to detonate with the slightest misstep. Meanwhile, women who thrive on stirring up trouble can seethe all they want as they're ignored and sidelined. It's a strategic move, men preserving themselves by avoiding unnecessary conflict, leaving the drama queens to stew in their own toxic brew. After all, in the game of office politics, sometimes the best move is to not play at all. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal, link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.